Hello, and welcome to episode 107 of the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast. I'm Christine.
And I'm Sam.
And we had an amazing weekend.
Such a great weekend.
The weather's been fantastically autumnal.
Oh, absolutely gorgeous.
Right?
Yes.
It was so pretty and sunny, and the leaves are changing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pumpkin spice weather, people.
All those good things.
Yeah.
For me, it's not pumpkin spice, though. It's chai.
Me neither. I don't really crave any of those things
Yeah.
this time of year, but it is really nice. Just a little bit of crisp in the air in the mornings, and
love it so much.
yeah. And this weekend we were at the Panama Rocks Fall Foliage Fest.
Yes, we were.
And how was the fest for you?
Oh, it was great. It was really, really great. So this was essentially arts and crafts fair up at Panama Rocks Nature Park. Mm-hmm. And so it was 2 days of vendors and food and musicians, and they were doing all kinds of different events for kids. And yeah, it was just a really, really cool weekend. And we were there vending. And we were in this awesome spot, kind of in a little stand of trees back in the woods. And as Christine said earlier, the weather was just so spectacularly autumnal.
Yeah, it was just perfect.
It was just beautiful.
Yeah.
And so like even at the low points when, kind of traffic would kind of lull, we just got to spend 2 beautiful days just being outside.
Yeah, in the woods.
In the
woods. Little wooded area. And the guy behind us had some warm cider that he was giving out. And, well, not giving, he was selling it.
Yes.
I mean, it was super fall,
Yes. Yeah. And it was just beautiful.
Yeah, it was just a perfect thing to do on a fall weekend.
Mm-hmm. It was a lot of fun.
We had a good time. They had axe throwing there, which I didn't try my hand at.
Thank heaven.
Yeah, Sam said it would probably be dangerous for me.
I'm thinking so. We probably would have ended up in the hospital.
Because I tend to be accident prone.
A little bit.
But I've always wanted to try that, axe throwing.
Well, at your own risk. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. And the awesome thing was there was a food vendor offering vegan options.
Yes.
Yeah. You want to talk about them?
I would love to. So this vendor was Labyrinth Press Company.
Yeah, they're out of Jamestown. They're at 12 East 4th Street in Jamestown, New York.
Yes. And they did a couple of wonderful things. Number one, they pegged us kind of instantly because as we were pulling in to do our setup on Saturday morning, they noticed that we had a couple of vegan stickers on the back of the car and immediately came to inform us that Labyrinth would be having some vegan options and that a little later on day one, someone would be coming around with menus and to all the vendors and told us that we could text Labyrinth and say, this is what we want. This is the booth we're at. Mm-hmm. And they would bring food to us.
This was
genius.
It was genius. This is a revelation. I know every veg fest I go to, I am going to recommend that food vendors do this for other vendors.
Right.
Because you can't get away from your booth. But you want to support everyone there. Mm-hmm. So hand out menus to all the other venues, or all the other vendors, rather.
No, I like the idea of handing out menus to venues. That's kind of fun.
And let them text in orders and just have a runner.
Yeah.
It's the coolest idea ever.
Christine was actually saying that if a Veg Fest did that, she would order at least a little something from every food vendor.
I would try to.
Because she would want to support everybody.
Yeah. And how this vendor did, how Labyrinth did it is one of the kids in their family this is a family-owned business. One of the kids in the family was delivering the food. And, of course, everybody tipped her. So
she got some spending money.
Yeah. So it wasn't even like they had to pay an extra employee or anything. It was a fantastic idea. And I think that all food vendors at all festivals, but especially Veg Fests, should adopt this policy.
It was really pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did partake of some of their vegan options.
We most certainly did.
Yes. And since you have the menu with the specifics over there.
Yeah, I'll let you know. The first day, because this was a 2-day event, the first day we got 2 of their veggie burgers, and they have 2 different veggie burgers on the menu. Their original which has, I think, something really spicy on it.
Hot sauce.
Yeah. And then they have the Timid veggie burger, which is what we ordered. And the Timid veggie burger is the Labyrinth original veggie burger patty, sliced cheddar, and they were offering vegan cheddar cheese, tomato, dill pickle, greens, mayo. They did not have vegan mayo, but we just omitted the mayo, and ketchup.
And this was a beautiful burger.
It was.
Incredible texture, incredible flavor. What I really appreciate about a veggie burger when it's not, like a Beyond or an Impossible or something like that, is when you can actually see and taste the grains and the veg and all of that stuff.
There was like veg and grains and beans in it, and it was a really well done veggie burger.
So flavorful.
Yeah.
And whatever brand of pickles they were using, amazing.
Yeah, they used like those sandwich size pickles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that they were kind of special because these were not your kind of run of the mill Vlasic.
No, it could
dill
be
pickles.
It could be a house pickle.
Maybe,
I don't know.
But they were really, really good.
Yeah,
and
they were.
The bun on which the burger was placed was perfect.
Yeah, good bun.
Really good bun. It was a home run. Honestly,
it was.
I loved it.
It was. And then on the side, Sam got an order of their curried butternut squash soup.
Because how could I not?
Yeah, which is roasted local butternut squash, apples, red bell pepper, and onion with coconut milk, curried spices, simmered with lemons, oranges, and thyme. I mean, come on.
Who doesn't want to try that? I mean, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So we got a bowl of that, and it was absolutely stunning.
It was good. I love a good butternut squash soup.
Yes.
And this was up there.
Yes, it was. Very much so. And not only was it just beautifully flavored, but it was so thick. It was almost like
stew-like.
It was even thicker than stew. Like we were almost into puree territory here.
Yeah, almost. You could have taken that one container of that soup and thinned it out and made like enough soup for 4 people, I think.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But I'm glad they didn't because it was so delicious.
And filling.
And very filling.
Right?
Yeah.
You only ate half of it.
Yeah, and brought the other half home and had it when we got home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they served it with some roasted pepitas on top. And
always a great touch.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it.
Very good. So that was the first day. And funny enough, the first day we brought sandwiches. Sam made sandwiches and we packed a little lunchbox, not thinking there was going to be any other than French fries, anything there
that we could eat
for us to eat.
So it was just such a pleasant surprise.
It was. So the second day, we did not need to bring our own food. I mean, I did bring some snacky stuff that we had left in the lunchbox. And the second day, Sam again went with the Timid burger.
I did.
Yeah.
It was just so good. I decided I had to have it again.
Yeah. And I went with their quesadilla. They have a...
No, you got the burrito.
I mean,
and we shared the quesadilla.
Yeah, we got cheese quesadilla with vegan cheese. And it came with vegan sour cream.
Yes, it did.
And a salsa. And then I got their burrito, which was really good. Also had vegan cheese and vegan sour cream on the inside with rice and baby spinach and beans. It was really good.
Yeah.
And it was very large.
It was. That was a big burrito.
It was a big burrito. I did not need to eat for the rest of the day.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. So, wow. Big ups. Oh, and the beverage you got.
Okay, so a while back, the first time we went to Eden Cafe last fall, I fell in love with a beverage, which was an iced London Fog. This Fall Foliage Fest, I have fallen in love with another beverage. This time, it is called a witchy tea.
Yeah, they're witchy tea.
Witchy tea. And the witchy tea is a hot cinnamon tea. Not like regular cinnamon, like red hot.
Yeah, it tastes
cinnamon.
Like the Red Hot's candy. That's what it tastes like. Yeah.
Red hot cinnamon with apple cider and a hit of Torani caramel syrup.
Yeah.
This is heaven in a cup.
It was certainly very fall-like flavor-wise.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was
cider
ridiculous.
and cinnamon and
Yeah, and I've been craving cinnamon lately.
Yeah.
For like the past few weeks. Like cinnamon, I'm in.
Cinnamon everything.
Yeah, if cinnamon is available, I'm there. And it was just so good that I had to get it both days.
You did. Not
I
only
did.
that, she made me order her a box of the specific hot cinnamon tea.
Oh, yes. We immediately went in search of the hot cinnamon tea.
Yeah.
And I will brew it with...
It already came.
I know. I was here when it did.
I know.
But no, I will go to the grocery store and I will get some apple cider and some Torani caramel syrup.
Yeah.
And I will brew that tea in apple cider.
Recreate it.
You betcha.
Yeah. So, yeah, big ups and a huge thank you to Labyrinth Press Company in Jamestown, New York. If you're ever in Jamestown, New York, please support them.
Yep. And we definitely will be. We're definitely going to hit their brick and mortar sometime in the not too distant future.
Yeah. So they also had vegan tomato soup. They had, they could make you a vegan grilled cheese sandwich to go along with that tomato soup.
I was really surprised you didn't go in that direction.
I considered it. They had PB&Js for kids, which I thought was a nice touch. And they had corn on the cob. They had Mexican street corn.
Both of which were not vegan because of the butter.
Right. What else did they have?
They had some baked goods. Again, not vegan.
Pumpkin
but
chai breakfast bars. They don't say that those are vegan, so I'm assuming they're not.
it actually specifically says on the menu, I believe, contains eggs.
Oh, it does. Yeah. Yeah. They're very good about saying what's in things. It does say it contains butter and eggs.
Yep.
Chocolate chip oat cookies, double chocolate brownies, both of those also not vegan.
Right.
But this would be a great place to take your omnivorous family if you're looking for a place where there's options for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, it is a fully vegetarian.
Yes, they are fully vegetarian.
They are fully vegetarian.
Yeah, no meat products.
That's right. But plenty of vegan options.
Yeah, so cool. We had no idea that there was going to be somebody there with options. When we looked at the vendor list, it looked very meat forward. Mm-hmm. Of course, there were people doing barbecue and all that stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, we really appreciate them being there.
It was just such a great surprise.
So after a fun weekend of vending, tons and tons, Sam won't tell you this, but tons and tons of people complimented Sam on all of her fiber arts and how beautiful her work was. And I'm very proud of her. She sold quite a few pieces. And when we came home, we played Mario Kart with my family.
Yes, we did. It's kind of our Sunday night tradition.
It was our Sunday night tradition. It was a really fun weekend.
It was.
And I'm looking forward to apparently in when now?
You said July.
Oh, yeah, next July. Like, we'll probably do the Foliage Fest again next year.
Oh, yeah, I would say so.
But also in July, they're doing something that is more arts focused. And it is also focused on environmentalism. So
yeah,
that should be interesting.
Super cool. And it was really exciting to be invited. I thought that was really awesome, and to be considered an artist and not a crafter.
Of course.
That's amazing.
Fiber arts, baby.
Yeah, but I never think of it that way.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's a hobby. I craft.
You're crafty.
I'm crafty.
Crafty. So where are we going to be next?
Well, this coming weekend, this Saturday, I should say, and that is Saturday, October 7th, we will be at the Fall on the Farm Festival at Mockingbird Farm Animal Sanctuary.
That's, October 7th. It's from 1 to 6, and Mockingbird Farm Sanctuary is at 5978 Upper Holly Road in Byron, New York. So come check that out if you're anywhere in the area. There's going to be games and raffles and lots of vendors. There'll be food vendors and you'll get to see the animals. It should be a rockin' good time.
Yep, I'm really excited. We've been meaning to get up to Mockingbird for a long time. And so finally, we're going to do it.
On that note, don't forget to follow Sam's Etsy site so that when we're done doing all these festivals, she's going to put everything that we have that hasn't sold up on the Etsy. And if you follow the site, you'll be notified
when new listings come up.
When that happens.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, just a little note of interest. I don't know if you remember last season, we were encouraging people in the Buffalo area to donate to an organization called Hoodies for the Homeless 716. Well, they are at it again, and they're once again accepting donations of gently used hoodies and warm clothing. And you can drop those donations off at Wellness in the Village at 13219 Broadway in Alden, New York.
I think we should do that. Heaven knows we have too many hoodies.
We probably do.
Yes.
I mean, we always say you can't have too many, but you know,
we need to thin the herd a little bit.
Technically, you can have, and thin the herd is not a vegan
vegan.
expression.
I knew as soon as that came out of my mouth. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that is not a vegan expression. Anywho, yes, I'm sure there are some hoodies that we could donate.
Yes.
Or other things, sweaters. It's not just hoodies. If you have sweaters or gently used coats, any kind of warm clothing.
Absolutely. We can do that.
Next up is our vegan cookbook challenge recipe of the week, which is not happening this week. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to tease it a little bit because I wanted to make Fraser Fitzgerald's Buffalo Collie pizza out of his new cookbook, which is called Doughboy. But I forgot, and I had read the recipe last week, and I should have remembered, but I didn't, that he does recommend kind of a fermentation process on his dough. And I want to do it justice. So I should have made the dough yesterday, but I could not make the dough yesterday because I was at Panama Rocks.
Right. We were Fall Foliage Festing.
Yes. So I'm shooting for making this pizza someday this week, and we will tell you all about it next week. And I'll definitely include a link to get Fraser's cookbook because it's all pizza and there's some really cool ones in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't actually looked at the cookbook yet, but it's Fraser, so I can only imagine.
Yeah. Cool thing about this cookbook. It's an ebook, so it won't take up any room on your shelf. But one of the really cool things about it is he has these really cute pairings for each pizza.
Uh-huh.
Like the one pizza pairing is have it with friends out on the patio, get yourself a nice cold Pabst. He has like all these really cute pairings that go with the particular pizza, and they're fun.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Love it.
So, yeah, we'll be talking about that next week. And that brings us to our Noteworthy section, and we have some good news in our Noteworthy section this week.
We do. This is coming from the LockportJournal.com, and the title of the article is Animal Sanctuary Owner Has Gag Order Revised. Tracy Murphy's gag order was lifted by Judge John Ottaviano in Niagara County Court on Monday morning, following her attorney's objections to its constitutionality. In a different court on Monday, the judge who handed down the gag order recused himself from the case entirely due to interaction with Murphy on a dating website. For those of you who don't know, Murphy, 61, is accused of failing to return livestock to their rightful owner in the town of Newfane, a charge of misdemeanor petty larceny that carries up to a year in jail or 3 years probation. She was arrested on August 2nd, 2022.
Yeah, so this is good news. Tracy can now once again talk about her mission and what's going on there at Asha Farm Sanctuary. She's not gagged anymore.
No. And so she's able to talk about the fact that 2 cows wandered onto the Asha Farm Sanctuary property and that they refused to return them because the owner of the farm in question could not produce proof of ownership.
Yeah, he refused to produce proof of ownership. And then he proceeded to kind of use intimidation tactics. He is a state trooper for the state of New York, and he brought over friends of his, which of course are also state troopers, and tried to intimidate her into giving the cows back, even though he wasn't willing to provide proof that the cows even belonged to him.
Right.
So now she can talk about that. Which, thank God, because, wow, talk about unconstitutional, not letting her tell her side of the story to the media or anything. And this guy could say whatever he wanted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And Caraway noted that while Murphy had to remain silent, posts on social media often contained death threats. And obviously this would be incredibly scary and would not harm only her, but on her work at the animal sanctuary, on her ability to promote events and to find employees and all of that stuff. So he mentions a post where it says, "We used to hang cattle rustlers." And it's impossible to know if somebody's being facetious and just kind of joking and that kind of a thing, or if there really is intent behind it.
Sure. And I mean, people in that community actually even put signs up that said that very same thing around her property, like by her driveway out by the road and everything. So, I hope this gets wrapped up soon.
Yes. So Tracy is scheduled to be back in Newfane Justice Court on November 14th.
Yeah.
So just about 6 weeks from now.
Yeah, we wish her luck.
We sure do.
Yeah. And keeping with the good news and the upbeat sort of thing.
Are we upbeat?
Yeah.
Okay. if you say so.
Yeah, that brings us to this week's main topic. And this week it is a game week.
We haven't done one of these in a while.
We have not. And it was brought to my attention by one of our listeners that we had not done a Would You Rather in a long time. So we're going to play Would You Rather.
All right, then.
Now, these aren't vegan specific.
No, they are not vegan
questions.
Specific. And there are 100 of them, and we are not going to do all 100.
Oh, yes, we are.
No, we're really not.
Buckle up, people. It's going to be a long ride.
No.
So this should run like maybe 3 or 4 hours.
Again, I say no.
I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding. Yeah. So we have some questions, and we're just going to pick randomly and go back and forth and ask each other these very interesting would you rather questions. Do you want to go first?
You can go first.
You're making me go first.
Well, I'm not making you. You asked me if I wanted to go first, and
Okay.
I said I'm happy to have you go first.
This is a good one for you. Would you rather read an awesome book or watch a really good movie?
You're right. That is a good one because I enjoy both of those things thoroughly. I think if it came down to one or the other, I would go with the book.
I had a feeling you were going to go with the book.
I would go with the book.
Yeah. And I would probably go with the movie.
There you go.
Yeah, because I think we've talked about it in the past on the show that reading makes me sleepy.
Yes, you fall asleep when you read. And for me, reading wakes me up most of the time.
I want to read. I really do, but it makes me sleepy. It doesn't matter what time of day. It's going to make me sleepy.
Yeah. No, I'm the exact opposite. I'm the one who can, start reading a chapter of a book and going to bed at night and be up till 4 a.m. because I couldn't put the book down.
Yeah, Sam will finish a book in a day.
It's true.
Yeah.
When I have the time,
Yeah.
I can absolutely do that.
All right, did you pick a good one for me?
Well, I was answering the one you asked me, so not quite. Would you rather hear the good news or the bad news first?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, like when somebody comes up to you, there's good news and bad news. Mm-hmm. I think bad news first because then you're left with the good news.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get the bad news over with, and then we'll move on to the good.
Yeah, then hit me with the good news.
Yeah.
So I can forget about whatever the bad news
That's right.
was.
Or, at least, if not forget about it, at least, things are going up from here.
You're ending on a high note.
That's right. Yeah. No, definitely bad news first. For sure.
Would you rather have nosy neighbors or noisy neighbors?
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but noisy.
We've had our share of both of those. And wow, I think I'm going with nosy.
Really?
Yeah, because I can ignore nosy neighbors. They can be nosy all they want. It really doesn't affect me all that much. But noisy neighbors, that totally affects you, especially if they're noisy late at night. Or when you're trying to spend a nice, quiet day outside.
Sure.
Or something like that,
Sure. I mean, I think maybe the difference in opinion here is because you're at home a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm not. So I don't get as much of the noise as you do.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the idea of, having nosy neighbors that are always coming to the door and stuff like that. I don't know. That would bug me.
I mean, I think every neighborhood needs one or two nosy neighbors in order to keep an eye on what's going on around the neighborhood. There's always that neighbor, right? That can give you all the dirt. Like if there's a house for sale, what's going on with that?
Oh, well, sure.
Or if somebody new moves into the neighborhood.
And our next door neighbors are kind of those folks. They
Yeah.
seem to know everything that goes on in the neighborhood that we don't know, but they're also not nosy.
Yeah. Maybe just more inquisitive than we are. I don't really care who moved in down the street. It doesn't affect me.
Well,
so.
right. But at the same time, they're not all up in our business all the time. That's what nosy means to me.
Yeah.
Not that they know what's going on in the neighborhood, but they, they're just all up in your business all the time. And I can't believe I'm using that phrase because that just does not sound right to me.
All up in your business.
Yeah, that really doesn't sound right.
Yeah. I mean, they can be up in our business a little bit, but they do it in a
really.
friendly sort of way.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I'm going noisy.
Okay.
Would you rather spend the night in a luxury hotel room or camping surrounded by beautiful scenery?
I know that you're going to say camping.
Absolutely.
And I would also say camping. I have a hard time sleeping on the ground now that I'm getting a little older, but I do love camping.
I love camping.
I think I just need it to be a little more glamping now. You know?
We have not yet glamped.
No. Like, I think it would be cool if we had like a little camper. You know?
Alas, we do not.
We do not. And don't get me wrong, I love being in a tent. It's a cool experience, you know, especially the ones that have the mesh on the top and you can see the stars at night and hear the critters outside.
It's great.
Trying to get into your food stores. Last time we went camping, we had a very inquisitive raccoon kept coming around our site. And I do enjoy the whole tent camping experience. I just don't enjoy sleeping on the ground.
I gotcha.
I get sore.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
I don't sleep well.
Well, I guess next time we go camping, we'll have to do 2 air mattresses and we can put one in the back of the car for you.
Maybe.
We'll have you sleep in the back of the car and I'll sleep in the tent.
That's no fun. Sam sleeps like a rock when we camp. Yeah.
I do. It's the best sleep. Just being out in fresh air with no noise and no light. Oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah. And I'm the one that's up at like 3:00 in the morning, restarting the fire and clanging pans around and making coffee.
And I don't hear you.
She doesn't. No. And she'll sleep until like 10, which is really late for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean,
so
I
great.
want to say camping, but maybe glamping. And don't get me wrong, staying in a really nice hotel room is cool too.
Well, no, there's nothing wrong with that. But if I had to pick between the two, it would be camping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would be camping for me too. It would just have to be, you know, the ideal camping situation. Would you rather live where it's always wintertime or where it's always summertime?
Always winter.
Always winter?
Yeah.
It depends on the winter. I mean, almost all would you rather questions, there's like degrees of each thing, right?
Sure.
Like if it can be where it's always winter, where it's someplace where you don't get a ton of snow, I wouldn't mind that. But, you know, the gray days might start to get to me. Mm-hmm. I do kind of crave sunshine. Like even this time of year, if we go a week where it's just gray days, I start to get down. You know, it's just like, oh, it's just another gray day. Can we just get a little bit of sunshine? And then if it's always summer, I don't want it to be hot.
Right. Right. And that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
As much as I enjoy summer, I would much rather be cold than hot because I can always put on more layers.
That's true.
I can always crawl under a blanket. And if you think about it, like all of the things that I enjoy doing most, I mean, not everything, but most of the things I enjoy doing, knitting and reading, those kinds of things, are best done indoors on cozy gray days.
Yeah, that's true. You do like the snuggle up kind of stuff.
I do like snuggle up kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I, of course, love to go hiking and camping and all of those things, which really mean, like, seriously, with this question, I would be like, no, fall.
Yet that's not one of your choices.
I know. Just like, you know, glamping was not one of your choices.
Right.
But, if I had to choose a season, it would be fall without question. But if I need to pick hot or cold, I'm going cold. So winter.
Okay. I'm going summer just because the lack of sunshine would get to me after a while.
Well, we could always get you one of those lamps.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
Okay. Would you rather spend an afternoon working on a jigsaw puzzle or a crossword puzzle?
That's totally the one I was going to pick.
Seriously?
Yeah, that's so funny.
Oh, that's so funny.
I mean, out of 100 of these random picks, she picked the one I was going to pick. I like crossword puzzles.
I do too.
Yeah, so I would probably pick crossword puzzle.
Me too. We could work on it together.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. I used to be heavy into crossword puzzles. And there's, you know, certain words that crossword puzzles use that aren't even like typical words that people use.
Right.
And you just get to know the words that they tend to use, you know, because of the vowels and stuff like that.
Sure.
And my mother was also very good at crossword puzzles.
Yeah.
Really good. Like she did her crossword puzzles in pen.
Oh, wow.
You know,
That's impressive.
That good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to get her the New York Times crossword puzzle book, which was all the puzzles for the year out of the New York Times. And those are difficult puzzles.
They are. They're hard.
And she would breeze through them.
There you go.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm picking crossword puzzle. Jigsaw puzzles are fun.
Yeah.
One thing I don't like about jigsaw puzzles is you have to have a lot of space for them.
Yes.
Unless they're small puzzles that you can, like, do in a day.
Right.
And, yeah, you have to have a place where you can leave them out and work on them. Unless you get one of those really cool tables. They do have those cool, like, dining room tables that actually open up.
Yeah.
And they have a place for your puzzle, and then they close, which is kind of cool.
It is cool. I mean, it would also be necessary for us because, well, you know, cats.
Cats and jigsaw puzzles
do not get along.
Years and years ago, my cat, Sammy, not the Sammy we have now, but a Sammy that I had years ago, actually choked on a piece of a jigsaw puzzle.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Poor Sammy.
Yeah, well, I got it out. I Heimlicked him.
You Heimlicked your cat?
Yes. I recommend that everybody go online and look up first aid for animals, like how to Heimlich or give mouth to mouth or any of the little first aid things that
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. And he was fine. He was a little hoarse for a couple of days. I called the vet and they said, just, keep an eye on him. He probably just scratched his larynx or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was scary.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So don't leave jigsaw puzzles out if you have cats.
I tell you, we've been together almost 17 years. I just learned something new.
Yeah. I had completely forgotten about that until you mentioned cats and puzzles.
Well, there you go. That's crazy. I'm so glad he was okay.
Yeah. It got like lodged in his throat. I don't know what he was thinking.
Oh, poor baby.
He was playing with it and I think he rolled over and it went down his throat.
Oh my gosh. That would be terrifying.
Yeah, it was scary. Let's see. Would you rather own your own boat or your own airplane?
Okay, I really have no desire to own either of these things. But if I had to choose, I would take the plane.
Well, you certainly can go more places with an airplane.
Yes.
And hopefully it comes with a pilot and crew.
Well, right, because a plane would be pretty useless to me without a pilot and a crew.
And I don't want, one of those little rinky-dink prop planes.
Oh, of course not.
Because they're scary.
No, you want a plane in which we could, take off and go wherever the heck we wanted when we wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't do it. Like owning private jets is just not something that we're looking into.
God, no.
But like Sam said, if we had to choose, I would choose the plane also.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Definitely the plane. Would you rather be a character in an action-packed thriller or a romantic comedy?
Oh, action-packed thriller.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. No contest.
Yeah, I want to be like, what's her name in Tomb Raider or something?
Like Lara Croft?
Yeah.
That image is really funny. Because you're such a klutz. I know. I would be and Lara Croft cannot be.
No, Lara Croft is not a klutz. It'd be the klutzy Lara Croft.
That's an awesome image. It's really funny.
So you also would want to be in an action movie? Yeah, I mean, who wants to be in a romantic comedy? Yeah. I mean, it's kind of boring.
Totally boring.
Right?
Yeah. Not that there aren't some good romantic comedies out there.
Oh, no, I dig a good romantic. I mean, I love a good rom-com.
I mean, come on. If you were told that the romantic comedy in question was Moonstruck, would that change your
Yeah, you know
answer?
what? I don't even really consider Moonstruck a romantic comedy, but it definitely is.
It is.
Right? Yeah, I mean, I guess if I could be in Moonstruck, maybe I'd play the mother in Moonstruck. That would be fun.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
What was the actress that played the mother? She's Greek, funny enough. She's not even Italian. Oh, people out there are probably screaming it. Her name is Dukakis, Olympia Dukakis.
Olympia Dukakis.
Yeah,
there we go.
It came to me.
Thank you.
I don't think she's with us anymore, Olympia Dukakis. She is a brilliant actor.
Yes.
She was so good in that movie.
Yeah, she was. I mean,
everybody was. That's my favorite movie. In case anybody needs to ever know what my very favorite movie of all time is, it's Moonstruck.
There you have it.
I've probably watched Moonstruck, I don't know, maybe 50 times in my life. And I can watch it. And I just had this conversation with my sister because she said they just watched it yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I said, that is one of the movies that I can watch anytime if it's on, if I see it's on, or if it just pops up on Netflix or something like that, I'm like, oh, Moonstruck. If I'm having trouble sleeping, sometimes I'll put it on because I know it so well. It just kind of lulls me to sleep.
That's right. You don't have to pay attention.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a good movie. And Cher is a really good actor. I love
is.
every movie. Like that one movie, Mermaids, that she's in. Love it. Love that movie.
Yeah. She's fantastic.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Would you rather babysit a crying infant for a day or have an unwanted house guest for a week?
Give me the baby for a day.
Right? I mean, it's just one day.
It's just one day.
Who wants an unwanted house guest for a week?
Nope. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I will take the baby for a day.
I will too. I would too, although a baby's crying, it's a terrible thing.
It is. It's a terrible, terrible
especially
thing.
if, it's one of those babies like, our niece Lucy, for instance, she was a very cranky baby. And sometimes she would just get into these jaunts where nothing would make her stop.
Yeah.
And she would just cry and cry and cry. And you couldn't figure out what was wrong. It's very, it's nerve wracking.
Yes, absolutely. Not knowing what to do for them.
Yeah.
Yes. It's nerve wracking. It's scary. It's emotionally just awful.
Yeah.
Because you want to help. You want to make it better. And you can't figure out how to do that. Yeah. So that day would suck. That single day with the crying infant would suck. But you know what? Not an unwanted house guest for a week.
Right.
So I'll take the 24 hours.
Although you could always leave your house when the unwanted house guest is there. You could always leave.
Oh, fair point. I could just go stay in my office for a week.
Right. You could be like, I'm sorry, I have things to do at work. And, I might be there for a few days. So help yourself to anything in the refrigerator.
But then I'd be sticking you with the unwanted house guest.
Right. That would be bad.
That's not very nice.
No. You know what I would do? I would cry like an infant until they left.
Well played. Well played. Would you rather have your flight delayed by 8 hours or lose your luggage?
Well, lost luggage usually comes back to you. I've had my luggage lost before. And it usually eventually makes its way back to you. I also tend not to put anything of real value in my luggage. Although, what's wrong with sitting in an airport for 8 hours, as long as it's a decent airport that has restaurants and stuff?
There are plenty of airports that it's not really a bad thing to get stranded for 8 hours.
Some airports now, it's like being at the mall.
It is.
I'll go with the flight delay.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely go with the delay because, you can just find a spot to have a meal, find a comfy spot to, sit and read a book or play games on your phone or whatever.
Yeah.
There are definitely ways to pass the time. Yeah, I would much rather have the 8 hour delay.
Yeah, losing your luggage is a real bummer.
It is a bummer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you're right. Things do come back to you. I mean, my luggage got lost on the way back from Wales.
Oh, that's right. It did.
Yeah. But they dropped it off right here at the house 2 days later.
That's what they usually do. I think it was one time when I was visiting my sister when she lived in San Diego that they lost my luggage. And they did eventually find it. And 2 days later, it showed up at the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
It's just annoying. Would you rather change your eye color or your hair color?
Oh, no brainer. Hair color.
I sometimes wish I got my mother's brown eyes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My mom had really pretty brown eyes.
Okay.
But I ended up with my dad's hazel eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if I would permanently want to change my eye color.
No, I'm very happy with my eye color.
Yeah.
My kind of middling blue-green that goes more towards green.
Yeah.
I actually like my eye color a lot. If I had my druthers, though, I'd be a redhead.
Right.
Yeah. I would have gotten my brother's red hair.
Your brother got the red hair.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm cool with my hair color. I don't have any problem with my hair color.
Well, I mean, really, and right now, I would change it to anything. Right now I'm so silver. I'm not even 50, and I've been silver for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And, stopped doing hair dye.
Yeah.
Along with many other things to kind of, go towards the whole cleaner, healthier living thing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, but seriously, the silver, I would change it to anything at this point.
Yeah. But I think I'm going hair too, just because I don't want to permanently change my eye color. It doesn't say permanently. I suppose you could get contacts to change your eye color.
Oh, you can. Yeah.
So, but I'll go hair color just because it's more fun to change your hair color. Mm-hmm. Unless you're like me and you have mishaps where your hair ends up, where you end up looking like Pony Boy from
that was really bad
from the outside.
Oh my gosh. It was so bad.
Yeah, I used to have like a really short haircut. It was almost like a faux hawk kind of thing. And a friend of mine who was a hairdresser would bleach my hair out. And one time I'm like, can you make it like white? And he always like warned me that it's probably not a good idea.
He told you not to do it.
He told me not to do it. He said, I have to leave it in longer and it could go brassy. He would say, it could go brassy, honey. I don't want to go in brassy on you. And it not only did it not go brassy, it went into kind of this orangish realm.
It was so bad.
And I don't know if you've ever seen The Outsiders, the movie, where Pony Boy dyes his hair when he's on the lam. That's what I looked like.
You know, and for months I had to keep telling her, oh no, it looks good.
It's fine. It's fine.
Lying through my face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And people at work would do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not that bad because I'm like, oh my God, look at it. Look at having it in my hair. And it's all my fault because I told Buddy to leave it on longer. And anyway.
Yeah. And it was just funny. Like, it was really funny. It was hard sometimes, like, not to chuckle when looking at you.
I just kind of went with it, and I just started calling myself Pony Boy because, like, when things like that go wrong, it's just hair. It grows out, you know, and it did eventually calm down and grew out.
Sure.
So, but yeah, I haven't dyed or bleached my hair out in a long, long time.
It's been a long time, yeah. So I'm going to go with, would you rather have to sew all your own clothes or grow your own food?
I'm going to go grow my own food because if I had to sew my own clothes, it would not be pretty.
I'm saying the same thing.
I mean, I'd be wearing, you know, like probably like potato sacks because I can't sew very well.
Well, I can't sew at all.
Yeah. I mean, I could sew myself, you know, like a potato sack dress, right? Like a dress. I can, you know, cut holes for arms and head. And that's about it. And maybe sew a couple buttons on it. So we'd both be like, you know, Little House on the Prairie over here.
Worse. Much worse.
Yeah.
No, definitely growing my own food because at least then I would know I had a chance of producing something edible.
Yeah.
I know that I have no chance of producing something wearable.
Right.
Like none whatsoever.
Like pants that have two different size legs. And...
Absolutely. That would just be hopeless.
Yeah.
So I'm going grow my own food.
Yeah. One thing I do kind of regret is never letting my mother really show me how to sew. And I mean, we had sewing class in school and everything. And my mother used to make all of our clothes. So she knew what she was doing. And I I had no interest in learning how to sew. And it's a good skill to have.
It's a great skill to have.
Yeah.
I also wish that I was more skilled in that way.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean skilled at all.
Right.
Put me in front of a sewing machine. I have no clue what I'm doing.
And I kind of feel bad because I have friends that can sew. I kind of feel bad for people that can sew because everybody that can't sew is always coming to them with like, hey, can you hem these pants for me?
Right.
Or can you fix my daughter's prom dress or whatever, you know?
Right.
They become they become kind of like the friend with the pickup truck that always has to help people move kind of situation.
Sure.
So, but I wish I had learned to sew. So I am definitely picking grow my own food because I know I can grow a tomato or something, right?
Yeah, we've done it. We know we can do it again.
We've had some pretty successful gardens. We've done broccoli and
cucumbers,
peppers and cucumbers and
tomatoes
and what else have we grown? Oh, beans. But
the bunnies ate all the beans.
The bunnies, and we don't put fence up. It's like whatever the animals eat, they
exactly.
eat.
Whatever happens.
Yeah.
So the bunnies ate the beans.
Yeah, but we've had some good luck. Oh, I did Brussels sprouts one year.
Yeah.
We got
those were moderately successful.
We got Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts are very labor intensive.
Yes.
You know, you cut the stalk and then you have to take off each individual sprout and then clean them. And some of them, like bugs got to them. And, you know, because we don't, of course, use any kind of sprays or anything to keep bugs away.
Yeah.
So while they were fun to grow, it was really interesting to watch them grow. They're very labor intensive, and we didn't get much of a yield out of it.
No, not a huge yield. Unlike tomatoes and peppers.
Yeah.
At one point, it seemed like we had unending tomatoes and peppers.
Yeah. We've had some really good years. We haven't put a garden in a couple of years. So.
No, we were traveling for a while.
Yeah, someone has to be around to water and all that jazz.
Yeah.
So.
And then the weather hasn't cooperated in early spring.
Well,
the last couple of years.
The seasons seem to have shifted.
A little bit, yeah.
You know, where it's like summer comes later and lasts longer. Mm-hmm. Like today, for instance, it's like, what, 75?
Yeah.
Or it's in the 70s and sunny.
It was almost 80 when I left work.
Was it really?
It really was.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. And I did see like next week it's supposed to get warm. So it seems like the seasons have shifted a little bit, and it seems like winter doesn't really even hit until December. Well, technically winter doesn't hit until December 21st.
Until the end of December, yeah.
But so, yeah, we've had some not so great weather for growing, but I know other people that have been very successful. Mm-hmm. So you just have to be around to mind it, the weeding and the watering.
Yeah.
Would you rather end hunger or end hatred?
I knew you were going to pick that one. This is a really hard one, but I think I have to go with I would rather end hatred.
I'm thinking I'm going with that too, because I think that it could be kind of a domino effect.
I agree.
If you end hatred, a lot of hunger would end also.
As the dominoes fall, kind of a thing.
As people stopped hating on the houseless, or, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
I think that people, if they don't hate, then they'd have more of a tendency to give.
Yeah. And
so I would hope that it would, like Sam said, have a domino effect.
Well, actually, I think you said that. You get the credit for that.
I knew
me.
I heard it somewhere.
But yeah, I would have to end hatred. Would you rather be in your pajamas or a suit all day?
Why is this even on there? This is stupid. That's a stupid question.
It's not.
Okay,
actually.
It's a stupid question. Number one, I do not like to be in my pajamas all day. You know how some people like that? Oh my gosh, it's Sunday. I can stay in my pajamas all day and watch.
Who are you? Me?
I don't like staying in my pajamas all day.
Love jammies.
But I'm not wearing a suit all day either. You know, I've had jobs where I had to wear a suit, and as soon as I got in the door of my house, it was off. Because they're just not comfortable.
No.
You know? So this shouldn't even be a question, but I have to go with pajamas. Because I don't want to be in a suit.
Okay. See, I'm going pajamas just because I love pajamas.
Oh, yeah. Sam gets in her pajamas as soon as she's home from work.
Pretty much.
Boom, pajamas.
Although I haven't today.
And then, no, you haven't. And then, like, if we do have a day where we're not going anywhere, she will definitely stay in her pajamas.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I just feel so unmotivated if I don't actually get dressed and put real clothes on. I just don't, I feel icky if I'm staying in my pajamas.
I don't feel icky, and I'm okay with feeling unmotivated. But again, you have to remember all the things that I like to do on a quiet, cozy, lazy day.
Yeah.
Are things that I can very easily do in my jammies. I can knit in my jammies.
Absolutely.
I can read in my jammies. I can even bake in my jammies if I want to.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? You can do anything in your pajamas that you can do in real clothes.
Yes.
But I don't like doing things in my pajamas.
And that's fine.
Like, no, these are for sleeping. Maybe I'm weird like that, but...
Well, you are weird, but I don't think it's because of that.
Let me know if you don't like to stay in your pajamas all day, because I'm curious to know if I'm just strange that way. Because I know so many people are like, I get to, they're really happy if they get to spend a day in their pajamas. Anyway, let me know if you also do not like to stay in your pajamas. Drop me a line. Would you rather have a 5-hour dinner with a headstrong politician from an opposing party, or attend a 5-hour concert for a music group you detest?
As long as the food was vegan, the dinner.
Really?
Yeah.
With a headstrong politician?
Sure.
I suppose you could just ignore him.
Well, I could either ignore him or argue with him for 5 hours.
You could.
As long as the food was vegan.
As long as the food is vegan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because a 5-hour concert of music that you detest...
That would be torture.
That would be kind of torturous.
Yes.
If you did have to attend a 5-hour concert for music you detest, what music would that be?
I don't really know.
Oh, for me, it would be pop country.
Yeah, I don't really know. I'd have to think about that. Like something that would just be absolutely torturous.
Yeah. Or maybe like German military music.
How about any military music? Why does it have to be German?
I don't know, because it's even more militant.
You are strange.
I don't know. But I also do not want to sit at a 5-hour dinner with a headstrong politician. Even if I agree with them, I don't want to have dinner.
That's the point of the questions. It's not, ooh, what about this thing you would really like to do, or this thing you would really like to do?
I know. They try to make it a hard choice.
It's got to be a hard choice. I mean, at least some of them have to be a hard choice.
Yeah. But I guess I am agreeing with you and going with the 5-hour dinner with a headstrong politician. And of course, that dinner would be vegan food.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's right. As long as the food was vegan. Would you rather have more time or more money?
More time.
Definitely. See,
More
that was an
time.
easy one. I gave you an easy one because of that last one.
Yeah. Well, it's easy on the surface. It's easy. But if you have more time, you're going to need more money. You know, you're going to need more money to feed yourself, to clothe yourself, to house yourself.
Well, I mean, are we talking about more time at the end of your life? Are we talking about a longer lifespan, or are we talking about more hours in the day?
Well, that's physically impossible to have more hours in the day.
Right. But that could also mean, would you rather have more time? Does that mean then you're working less and having more free time? I don't think it necessarily means that having more time requires more money.
Yeah. Okay, if you think of it that way. Yeah. I have plenty of time.
You do.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm busy throughout the day.
Sure.
But I never have a moment in my day where I think, I just wish I had more time.
That's good. I have those moments all the time.
Hey, look, I used to have those moments.
I have hundreds of those moments every day.
Yeah, but once you retire, you don't have those moments anymore. I mean, usually you don't. I mean, some people that retire really fill their days with other work. And I do, I spend a lot of time with the podcast and with our festival stuff and all that jazz. But I never have a moment during the day where, sometimes when I know it's getting close to your coming home and I'm preparing a meal or something, I guess sometimes then I wish I had a little more time. But that's usually just poor planning on my part, not because I don't have enough time. I just didn't use it well.
Right.
But I'm still going more time because what is money if you don't have the time to enjoy it?
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll just do a couple of more and then we'll wrap it up for the sake of time because we need more time.
Cute. Very cute.
Would you rather be Batman or Spider-Man?
Oh, Batman. No question.
Really? Batman has no superpowers.
I don't care.
He has a cool car and a utility belt.
Well, I mean, wait a minute. Batman has no superpowers?
No.
Hang on a second.
He's a superhero, but he doesn't have any, superhuman powers. No. He fights crime. He's good with things on his utility belt. He has a really cool car.
Well, right.
And he can be beckoned.
Summoned.
And summoned, rather, with the bat signal.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's the deal with Spider-Man?
Spider-Man was bitten by a radioactive spider.
Yes, that I know.
In his research lab, and Peter Parker then obtained spider-like senses. Mm-hmm. So he gets his spidey senses tingle. Mm-hmm. He can throw webs, climb buildings, jump really, really, really far. Mm-hmm. and maybe other things.
Okay, I changed my answer. I'll go Spider-Man. Yeah, that sounds like more fun.
Yeah, I mean, Batman has a cooler car.
He does.
And a sidekick.
Also true. And I just think I think my original answer was influenced by the Lego movies.
Oh. Well, Batman also has a really cool costume.
Because just the constant, I'm Batman.
Yeah,
like, it just makes me laugh.
Batman.
Really, really funny.
The Batman in the Lego movies is pretty entertaining.
Really, really funny.
Yeah, he's funny. I'm Batman. But yeah, Batman does not have any superpowers.
Yeah. So
he has powers, but it's just he's good at punching people or something. And he has all kinds of gadgets,
Yeah.
you know, like
the Batarang. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm going with Spidey.
you switch.
Switch to Spidey.
Okay.
Yep. All hail Spidey.
All right.
What about you?
Batman.
Of course.
I would definitely go Batman because he has all the cool gear.
He has all the gear.
Plus, when I was a kid, I loved Batman. Like the original Batman 60s Batman series. Loved it.
Okay.
I was Batman for Halloween a number of times. I always wanted to be Batman. And I just think he's cool. He has the Batmobile, and he has that cave.
Well, he's got the bat plane, and he's got all of those things. If going back to the Lego Batman movie again, all of the various vehicles and all that. Yeah, I could see you wanting the cool toys.
Yeah, he has a lot of cool toys and a cool sidekick. And he wasn't bitten by a radioactive spider, which is just kind of scary.
That's fair. Okay. Is this our last one?
Yeah, let's make this our last one for the sake of time.
Okay. So would you rather be fluent in all languages or be a master of every musical instrument?
You might be surprised, but I think I'm going languages.
I'm actually shocked.
She's shocked.
I'm shocked. I really am.
No, I think it would be so cool to be able to travel anywhere
And speak the language.
and be able to communicate with people
Yes.
in any country, anywhere.
Yeah.
I think that would be awesome.
Wow. I'm really surprised, though, because, of course, the language answer is my answer without question.
Yeah.
But, you being a natural where it comes to musical instruments, I thought maybe you would go for the mastery of every musical instrument.
I think that would just get boring after a while. You know, you don't have to practice, you know,
Yeah.
there's no challenge in it.
That's a fair point.
You know, you could just pick up any instrument and immediately be a master at it.
I can see that.
Yeah. I think that would take kind of some of the fun out of it.
Yeah.
The learning part of it.
Yeah. But imagine if we were both fluent in all languages.
That would be so cool.
Oh, the travel that would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could talk in front of people and they wouldn't understand what we're saying because we could talk in some
In any other language we chose.
yeah, in some, remote tribal language or something.
Let's just switch to Swahili right now or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, one of those languages where you have to tick and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
that. I think that would be cool.
It would be
I
pretty
think
cool.
it just would be so cool to be able to communicate with anybody in the world.
I completely agree.
Yeah. And you would probably hear people talking about you if you went into, because, sometimes people in other countries that they know, they think you don't speak the language, they could be talking about you and you wouldn't even know it.
Sure.
You'd probably pick some things up. Like maybe your pants are tucked into your underwear or something,
How would you possibly tuck your pants into your underwear? I have no idea how that would work.
You have toilet paper on your shoe or something.
That's a little more likely. Okay. Tuck your pants into your underwear?
Or your skirt. Tuck your skirt into your underwear. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that was our last Would You Rather question.
Yeah, I think that's a good note to end on.
Yeah. Let us know how you weighed in on some of these questions because some of them were pretty good. And some of them were really difficult to choose. I think the hunger and hatred one in particular.
That was the toughest one, I have to admit. But we got there. And hopefully the ending of hatred would then, just kind of bring forth an ending of
I have
hunger.
a feeling it would. I really do have a feeling it would. But let's move on to our reason to be vegan of the week from the Humane League.
All right. So this week's reason to be vegan in 2023 coming from the Humane League is number 12, boost your mood. Now I picked this one because obviously it goes right along with the mood boost you get from listening to a Would You Rather episode. Yes.
If you say so.
I'm trying here, okay? Managing emotions can be a critical component of a happy, productive life. Luckily, studies have shown that a vegan diet can lead to an improved mood, meaning a greater sense of well-being. In one study, vegans reported less anxiety and stress than people who ate an omnivorous diet. Consuming plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids, including flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, and vegetables like collard greens and spinach, can help elevate your mood.
I think I believe that. I also believe that when you're eating animal products, that you're eating a whole lot of misery and pain and fear and
I agree with that completely.
And all that. And I think you take that into your system. And, you know, I know there are medical explanations for why animal products make people sick, but I also don't think that they take that into account.
I agree completely. I mean, I don't think that there's any way that the pain and fear and misery that these animals go through don't somehow seep into, you know, the muscle tissue.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely inevitable.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer that when you're eating animals, that you're eating their pain and fear.
Absolutely.
So
yeah,
I think I agree with that eating vegan probably does boost your mood.
I think so.
And before we move on to our favorite part of the show, I wanted to talk about something that we meant to talk about at the top of the show when we were talking about the Panama Fall Foliage Fest. There's so many Fs.
So many Fs. We're going from the Fall Foliage Fest to
Fall on
the Farm Festival.
Yes.
Yeah, lots of Fs everywhere.
Listener Annette Stonebreaker made the trip to the Panama Fall Foliage Fest to bring us a lovely gift and a card. And the card, which is oh so perfect, says, I give you 5 stars on the front. Would definitely recommend to others, it says on the inside. And she says, I love all that you do for the community and for the animals, Annette. And it was just so sweet, the card. I can't believe, she said when she saw that card, she just had to get it.
Well, of course.
Yeah. And then she gave us these beautiful bowl covers that are made by a friend of hers. And her friend's shop is Natalie's So-and-So.
That's really cute.
SEW and SEW. And they're these beautiful lined fabric bowl covers. This one has tacos and avocados on it.
Because she knows we love tacos.
Yep. There's, oh my gosh, there's like 4 or 5 of them.
There are 4 of them in there, yeah.
There's a Harry Potter one.
Yes.
There's one with unicorns. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's astrological
Constellations,
signs.
yeah.
Constellations. Thank you for clearing that up for me once again.
My pleasure.
Yeah, there's the Harry Potter one. There is...
Oh, there's more than I thought in there.
Yeah, there's another smaller one with tacos and avocados on it, and a little teeny one, like a jar cover, with this really cute pink and white, like, octagonal pattern on it. And I just wanted to thank Annette so much for giving... She didn't have to do this. It was just out of the kindness of her heart. Mm-hmm. And I definitely want to check out Natalie's So-and-So.
Totally.
And see what other things that she makes, because these are so cute.
They are. They're just adorable.
They're very adorable. And also fell out of the bag was a Sour Patch Kid, but that was just because we were giving candy to the kids. I'm like, oh, what's this? Yeah, thanks again, Annette, for the lovely gift.
And thank you for coming to see us at the festival. It was awesome.
It was. And it was so funny because I had texted Annette, hey, we found vegan food. She's like, I was just about to text you that we found vegan food too. So that was cool because we were both convinced that there wasn't going to be anything for us to eat at this festival. So thanks so much, Annette. Okay, now for our favorite part of the show.
Which you by now know is listener shout out time.
Just want to give a shout out to all my fans watching. I love you guys. I love you.
This week's listener shout out goes to Marcy Zastrow, owner and operator of the Vegan Center in Tonawanda, New York. Project 716 LLC. Marcy is a vegan community leader in Western New York and is always thinking up new ways to bring the community there together. Thanks for everything you do, Marcy, and thank you for supporting the show.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening, Marcy, and contact us with your t-shirt size and address so we can send you a Compassion and Cucumbers swag bag. You can email us that information at compassionandcucumbers@gmail.com or DM us on Instagram or Facebook or just hit us up when we're at the next pop-up market.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Or if you don't want to give us the address and all that stuff, we can just bring it to you at the next pop-up market.
Yeah. Hey, you want to get a listener shout out like Marcy? Send us a DM or an email letting us know that you listen and tell us a little bit about yourself.
And that brings us to this week's Vegan Org of the Week. This week, we are spotlighting Food for Life Global. Food for Life Global serves about 1 million meals every day to people in disaster or poverty situations around the world. The meals are vegan and freshly cooked, not prepackaged or frozen. Every dollar donated guarantees the provision of 2 meals. We have a very interesting, unique approach to solving world hunger, Food for Life Global co-founder and executive director Paul Rodney Turner said. Rodney has personally visited 72 countries for humanitarian work over the last 39 years. I believe that if we had this sense of family, this sense of unity that crosses all nationalities, borders, races, things like world hunger would disappear overnight because we wouldn't tolerate our brother or sister going hungry, he added.
And that goes right along with that.
It really does.
Does it not?
Go figure.
Yeah, and I'll include a link to Food for Life Global if you would like to learn more about them or get involved with their mission.
Yeah, fantastic organization.
All right, you want to wrap this thing up?
Go for it.
Let's wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
As always, we encourage you to join the AFA Vegan Voter Hub and support them in any way that you can. The Agriculture Fairness Alliance is lobbying in D.C. on your behalf so that our vegan voices are heard. If you want to be included in the conversation, please join the Vegan Voter Hub. The link is always in our show notes.
Well, friends, it's time to sign off. You just listened to episode 107 of the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast, and there's nothing left to say but where cukes and compassion are always the fashion. On the podcast.
Thanks, James.
Have a great week, everyone.
We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
We love you.
Bye.
The end.
If you'd like to support the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast, well, you can do that by hopping on over to our Patreon page and becoming a patron. We have all the recipes from our Vegan Kitchen series up there, and we'll be adding some patron-only episodes in the near future. So thank you for supporting us at whatever level that you choose, and thank you again for listening to Compassion and Cucumbers podcast.